to come on today and just talk about some different ESV Bibles that I have, maybe compare them, and just talk about what I use each one for. So we're blessed with so many options of Bibles. Like we can find so many different translations and typesettings and font sizes and cover options that it truly is a blessing, but there are times it gets a little overwhelming too. Like let's say you just want to get an ESV Bible to read, and you're like, well, there's like 500 options here. Which one do I choose? Which one's right for me? There's no bookstores open in my area anymore. And I think that's true for a lot of people. Like Christian bookstores have closed, and there's nowhere you can go to see these Bibles oftentimes in person. So I just wanted to go through a couple different Bibles that I have in the ESV translation and just kind of what I use them for. And hopefully if you're stuck and trying to make a decision about what Bible you want, maybe this will help you. So the first one I have here is the large print personal size. This is in the buffalo leather. And this is from Crossway. Most of these Bibles are except for one. So what I like about this one is it's a personal size, so it's easy to transport. We also have this 12-point font. So if you are looking for an ESV Bible for a reader or to carry along with you and you need a larger font size, this would definitely be a great option. It is red letter, as I'll get there eventually, but it is red letter if you like that. And it's just very easy to read. A great choice for an ESV Bible if you need that larger font. So that's the large print personal size. I have it in the buffalo leather, but it does come in many different cover options. Okay, so the next one now is the Esv Omega. So this is the 80th anniversary edition. So this one's a couple of years old. It's not the new Omegas that just came out very recently. But it's the same layout. So I think the stamping is different on the spine. This circular ESV stamp is replaced with just the letters ESV. It doesn't have the circle around it, and the letters are slightly larger, kind of like this one, which I'll show you next, but it'll look like that. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same as far as I have seen. So this one is a thin line. So again, it's a great one to transport to church or wherever you're going on the go here. It is a double column format. I believe it's a 10.5 font size. So still a decent size font, definitely smaller than the large print personal size. But that's what makes it a thin line. So if you want a double column, thin line ESV, the Omega is a favorite of many people. Be a good choice for you. Okay, this one is a black letter text, and this one is also from Crossway. So that's the Omega. The next one is one that I just received recently. This is the Esb Heritage, and this is in the Horween leather, but it also comes in goatskin as well for a little less. You can see the spine is a little different in that it is blind stamped instead of having the foil in the stamping, the color in the stamping like you saw in the other Bibles that I just showed you. And this one does have, you can't see it really well in this camera, but I have a mark here that my nail accidentally dug into the spine. There's some scratches on the front, so the Horween leather does scratch easily. It will kind of change over time, which I think is a nice feature. I had to kind of, as I said in my previous video, I had to kind of get over myself with that. Yeah, it's going to have scratches. Yeah, it's being used. That's the point. So if you don't like that, though, there is a goatskin cover for it as well, which is equally beautiful. This one is a 9.25 font, and it is a single column. So this is a really nice Bible also for a reader. If you don't quite need that 12-point font that I showed you in the large print personal size, or if you prefer single column to the double column, the Heritage would be a really good option for you. This one is black letter as well, and it's also from Crossway. So another great one. And this one, even though it's a little thicker. It still is a good size for carrying. So all three of these so far, really, like, you could transport them easily. The Omega is definitely thinner. Hold on, I'll get it on the camera. I know I'm probably not on that well right now, but you can just see a kind of a size comparison here. The Omega is definitely the thinnest one here, and it's longer in length. And then these two, the large print personal size is on top. And so the Heritage is just a teeny tiny little bit longer, not much difference at all. They're really almost the same size. Thickness too. Sorry, I'm balancing both of them. The Heritage might be slightly thicker, but it's not by much. Like, just by my untrained eye here, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference. And that's because the Heritage is single column, and while this one, the large print personal size, is a larger font, it's double column, so that cuts down some of the thickness as well. But anyway, that's the Heritage. And then finally, we have the Schuyler Traveris in ESV. And this is in their marbled mahogany calfskin. And it's full yap. Let's see here, which means that the cover protects the pages, covers the pages a little more. This is the one I'm currently reading through right now. So I'm doing a read through of the Old Testament in 90 days because I already read the New Testament last year, towards the end of the year. So I'm just starting in 1 Samuel today. So I've read from Genesis to 1 Samuel on this. I love the layout. I love the single column. I love the drop caps. This is also a great reader. This is a size 10 font. So they're all generally in the same font size range, with the exception of the large print personal size being a 12. About the one thing you want to know about this one, and I did mention that in my full review video, is the verse numbers are in the margin, the outer margin. So they might not start, like, they're not in the text, like, right where the verse starts. So this could be confusing if you were, like, following along at church and you're trying to find a verse. I have taken it to church a couple times, and I haven't had big issues with that, but I can see that it might be a little easier in a Bible that has the traditional placing of the verse numbers. This one is a great reader. I'm currently using it for that, and I really like it. And it is a black letter text as well. So, which ESV for me? That's the question. Well, we all know that I can't just pick one. I mean, that's, from my videos and from being a Bible collector, I guess you'd say, although I do use all of my Bibles, so I hesitate to use the word collector, but I mean, that's kind of what it is, because I have a lot. I can't choose just one, but if somebody said you have to pick just one, you can't have any of the other ESV Bibles, I would probably choose the Heritage. And it's not because I don't love the others. Here's my reasoning. I prefer single column, so that knocks out these two and brings me down to the Traveris and the Heritage. And the Traveris, the only downside of it is I said how the verse numbers are in the margin, and that's wonderful for a reader, and that's what I'm using it for. But if I only could have one and I wanted to, take it to church or use it in Bible study group or whatever I wanted to do, the Heritage is going to make it a little easier to pick out specific verses. So that's why I would go with that one. It's a beautiful layout. They both are, really. But if I had to just choose one, my top choice would be the Heritage. Okay, and then for this is what I would choose. I would choose the Traveris as my reader. So that's what, if I could have more than one, that's what I would do. I would choose the Heritage more for taking places and studying, and then for the Traveris for a reader. I like the Omega. It is a great one to travel and take with you. The reason I didn't choose that one is because it's double column, and I think the text is a little more bunched up together. I do like it, though. Sorry, I keep saying I keep catching myself doing that. Again, there we go. But I do really like this one. It's not my preference for layout. So there's nothing wrong with this one. It's beautiful. I like it. I use it. It's just if I had to narrow it down, I would go with the other two. And then finally, the large print personal size. What I like about that is its portability, and it's also that large font size. So get back to me in a couple years from now, and when I start having more vision issues. I do wear glasses already and have some issues, but it's not been enough to keep me from reading like 9, sometimes 8, depending on the Bible, point font and study notes and all of that. So I've been blessed that so far I have not had health issues that have prevented me from that. But as I get older here, I think I'm going to begin to appreciate even more this large font. So that's why I still appreciate this one, and I still use this one. And if I'm like having a headache day or something crazy like that, I would reach for this one as well. So I'm holding on to this one for the font size as well. So those are my 4 ESV Bibles that I read from and use. So which ESV for me, as I said, if I had to choose one, I would go with the Heritage. And if I had to choose a reader, I would choose the Traveris. And if I needed a large font, I would choose the large print personal size. If I wanted a thin line, I would choose the Omega. My top choice for only one, though, very tough choice would be the Heritage. So which ESV would you choose?